Oh me, oh my, we got 2 NBA games today and 1 NFL game today. Welcome to my channel. My goal is to break it down for you and give you a couple propositions to look at and maybe make you a little bit of coin. If you like what you see, smash the like button and give me a subscribe. Let's get right into it. Tampa Bay Bills over under 43.5. It's pretty decent for a Thursday night game. These Thursday night games historically tend to stay lower. They're coming off a short week, plus it's prime time. 9.5 favorites for the Bills. Listen, they're coming off a game where they just got shelled by the freaking worst team in the league, in my opinion. And I think that they're going to come out tonight and smash. And I love the Bucks. That's my team, but it is what it is. I live in reality. How about you, Chief? So today we get to double dip. We got NBA and we got the NFL. So we're gonna build a little 3v3 maybe, possibly, I don't know, let's see. I'm doing it live without a script, and this is gonna be probably 5 to 7 minutes because I still got live streams to do. But you guys don't care about any of that. The question on everybody's mind is this: is it hitting? Well, yesterday a few of them hit, but again, the first 2 weeks gonna be all over the place, up and down. I was able to get a 4 of 4 and a 2x Discord live slip with the crew. I had a decent day. Westbrook tried his hardest to sell in the end, but they stat corrected it, and we got the W. First things first with the NFL. You, the viewer, you need to do 2 things. First thing, script the game. What do you think's gonna happen? Is it gonna be a shootout? Is it gonna be a blowout? Is it gonna be a low scoring, high scoring, ground and pound? You name it, figure it out. That's your job. Next, what I'm going to do is give you 2 scenarios on either of those. If you think it's gonna be a high scoring game, which is 43-point total, if you think it's gonna be pretty decent, this is what you would do. Okay, so these 4, Josh Allen, 262.5 passing yards. I would go ahead and take more. Dalton Kincaid, more, 39.5 receiving yards. No knocks tonight. Mike Evans, 58.5 receiving yards. He is the taco, so that kind of makes me upset a little bit, but go ahead and take more. And Baker Mayfield, more, 1 passing touchdown. Every other quarterback, for the most part, is always going to be 1.5 in the NFL, but we get him at 1. I think at the worst case scenario, he's going to push, but this is what you would do if you think it's going to be a shootout game where they're going to go back and forth. The next one we will create will be a blowout scenario. One thing I'm going to do real quick is hop over to my projections here, and as you can see, I have Dalton Kincaid projected for 5.9 receiving targets, 4.3 receptions, 38.8 receiving yards, and 13 fantasy points. I know I have over there on the slip 39 receiving yards, but this is just a projection, okay? Next, Diggs, 10 receiving yards, 8 receiving targets, 106 receiving yards, and 23 fantasy points. That's on the high side. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm going to show you Josh Allen, 287 passing yards. It's a 30 to 40 yard discrepancy. Then if you go over here to the Buck, I have Evans going for 80 yards. I have Baker Mayfield passing for 256, and I have him at 18 fantasy points, okay? So I took all the discrepancies there for this particular slip. Now, if you think it's going to be a blowout, this is what you'd want to do. Okay, so if I'm predicting a blowout, I would take the Cook and White rush yards combo, 97.5. Josh Allen less than 290 pass plus rush yards, and then I'd throw in a little Cook into my pot, 52 rush yards. So you take out the combo unless you're in Alabama, which is why that's there. Bang, Cook, more rush yards. Mike Evans, more 58, because you're going to assume that they're going to be behind and they're going to be throwing the rock. And then I would probably throw in as my last piece Mr. Gabe Davis at 9 fantasy score or 40 receiving yards in a blowout scenario, because I think if it does blow out, Diggs will chill out a little bit. They'll probably guard Diggs even more, and then Mr. Davis will be a little bit open there. So he's also due a little bit of positive progression. He's been regressing a little bit, but that is what it is. Listen, I'm not really here to give you a bunch of NFL plays today or NBA plays today. I'm just trying to get this out quickly before we get into our normal groove where we have 5 to 7 NBA games every single day. Can't wait. But if you want the full projections and list, just take your little fanny to CaptainCrush.net and get in the Discord, you cheapskate. All right, next up, NBA. Everybody's hyping Tyrese Maxey. 34.5 fantasy, 35 fantasy, 36 fantasy, and for good reason, okay? Literally, James Harden isn't in the mix. Tyrese Maxey's going to be full point guard, shooting guard, all the guard positions. It's going to be Maxey running the ball down the court. Now, does that mean he's soaring over? Absolutely not. Bucks play good defense. We'll have to wait and see. What I personally like is Maxey's points plus assists, okay? I didn't take his fantasy score. It's a little bit too high for me, but his points plus assists is good. Tobias Harris, I took less on his fantasy score. I'm taking more on Mr. Joel Embiid. 28.5 points. That's absolutely going to be in play. It's always in play. Brook Lopez, Lopez, not really a big fan. I did get his points at 12.5. Now he's at 13.5. I'm not going to be targeting him. I know he's a darling. And I want to say this, the discount, sure, go ahead and take it. It's like minus 700 a hit. However, the full game line, ain't no way, cheap. I don't buy it. 27 points for Dame Lillard on his first match against an elite defense. Maybe he comes out there and proves me wrong, but I just don't really see him getting 27 points. That's a big ask. I think he's going to get 24 to 25, but Curry didn't even get 20. Actually, Curry did get 27 points. Lillard can literally go for 50 points anytime he's on the court, but I honestly don't think he's going to get that tonight, and I also like that he's the discount and I can hedge there and cash both. Another person that you need to have on your radar is Mr. Chris Middleton. He had a severe injury and now he's back. He played one preseason game. They say he's going to start, but I don't know if he's going to be limited or not. Listen, if Middleton plays 30 minutes, he's going to get 12.5 points. That's just how it is. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I can't project his minutes. I haven't seen a full game yet for these clowns. We're going to have to wait and see. So keep him in your radar, pay attention to the starting lineups, and go from there. Now, although everyone is on Tyrese Maxey, I'm not really sure how or what's going to happen there, but I do want to target Melton, 9.5 points. I would rather play something else of his, maybe a fantasy score. Let's see if they have. See, they don't really have a fantasy score for Melton, unfortunately, but I really think 16.5 PRA, I really think he can get that done, or maybe even 12.5, or maybe even just his points. He does have a decent usage rate with Harden off the floor, and I think that he's going to be a key piece in this offense. Now we're going to wrap this up and talk about the Phoenix game. Listen, Booker's out, Beal's out, so I went ahead and targeted some of these Phoenix players. I'm not going to go into a lot of it here. Again, if you want the full list, go over to the Discord. That's where I'll give you the slips, the list. We have discussion and live streams. I will say this, Kevin Durant last game disappointed me, so a lot of people are going to be on his under, myself included. LeBron James is playing limited minutes, so for me, it's just a fade spot. I've seen plenty of people post LeBron James propositions, and for me, again, I am fading him completely. I'll probably take one shot on D'Lo Russell to come back and have 13.5 points possibly. Not 100% sure what I'm going there. Again, if you want the full list, go over to the Discord. Listen, if the last two games haven't taught you anything, I hope they've taught you that nobody knows anything yet. It's all up in the air, but the unders have been hitting with ease. It's that simple, guys. I have been crushing the unders, thankfully. A few of them went over, like Randall's fantasy went under, or over, but his PRA went under, and that's good for me. Jokic went over the other day, whatever. Durant, he's probably gonna stay under again tonight. We'll have to wait and see. My website's being built, can't wait to get it done, and as the season progresses, my YouTube videos will be more in depth with analytic, matchup data, projections, and stuff like that, but for now, we're just flying blind without a real model, fantasy point per minute, etc. I will have a TikTok live stream today in probably an hour from this video launches, so I hope you guys come there and we'll build a community slip. We haven't hit a community slip the last two nights, but you know how that goes. We usually hit one every 10. Let's get the bag. Let's crush. I hope to see you guys there. I appreciate you sticking around for the YouTube. Good luck tonight, and as always, let's crush.